After a 4-week break from cycling, we're now heading over the Alps. We cycle from Stuttgart to Augsburg, then follow the Via Claudia Augusta over the Fernpass, then over the Reschenpass to Bozen and further via Trento through the Dolomites to Venice. Nadine accompanies us to Geislingen. First we drive on familiar path to Göppingen, then we come to these two villages. We camp at the campsite in Geislingen. The next morning after breakfast we head up 220 meters to the Swabian Alp. Today we want to cycle to Donauwörth and spend the night there on the field for tents of the Canoe Club. At the end of the day, it was 92 kilometers and 690 meters of altitude. So a good workout and a small foretaste of the Alps. We are now on the Via Claudia Augusta and drive along the river Lech. South of Augsburg, we pass this beautiful lake and Sandra goes for a quick swim. When we arrived in Lenzberg, it was lunchtime. Looks like rain, so it's good that there is a cabin available at the campsite. Next day, but the weather just doesn't want to get any better. After crossing Germany by bicycle from Hamburg via Cuxhaven to Stuttgart, we stayed at home for 4 weeks to fix a few things. But now we're on the road again. Today we want to go to Heiterwang or maybe even to Lermoos if the weather improves. And if the weather doesn't improve, what do we do then? Now comes Füssen, then the border, and immediately after that the cascade of the Lech. From here we head into the Alps, and the next 30 kilometers we will go up 500 meters of altitude. So it's good that the sun isn't shining today. Now we drive through Heiterwang and reach Lermoos in the late afternoon. Finally the sun shines when we start towards Zugspitze and Erwald, where we have breakfast. Then we turn right, because today we are going across the Fernpass on a cycle path to Imst. First, the path meanders through the forest with a moderate incline, past the Lake Weißensee, but suddenly it becomes steep and very unpleasant in combination with the gravel, so that we have to get off and push our bikes in several places. That's as well very difficult with our luggage. But it's only about 300 meters in altitude, so we get to the top quite quickly. Going down is very similar to going up, also on gravel, roughly the same incline, but downhill and therefore much faster. However, it is more dangerous than up. This steep and narrow gravel path requires full concentration on the descent. In summary, possible even with our luggage, but in my opinion, demanding. Of course, we knew this place from videos of other cyclists and were really excited about it. Yes, it's very nice to drive over this bridge. We reach the valley at Fernstein Castle. From here the cycle path becomes wider again and even mostly with a good surface. Nevertheless, it still takes a long time to Imst. If we just look at the distance, we are now only halfway through today's stage. And that's a good thing, because with this weather and this landscape, it's pure pleasure to cycle here. We spent the night in our tent at the campsite in Imst. Take down the tent, have breakfast and continue in the Inn Valley towards Landeck. Near Zams we discover the Lötzbach Canyon, also called Zammerlochputz, quite by chance, and decided to take a look at it. That was a very good decision. This gorge with a fountain and an approximately 30 meters high waterfall is really worth seeing it. We walked the entire trail and are thrilled. We drive further and further up the Inn Valley. Close to Ried, we see this beautiful lake and go swimming. Then we come to an underpass completely painted with graffiti, which we had already seen in videos from other cyclists and which we were really looking forward to. We camp at the campsite near Pfunds, where we get to know other cyclists who we will meet some more times in the next few days. Today we go over the Reschenpass to Prat. We only drive a few kilometers and we're at the fortress Alt-Finstermünz, a former border fortification. We take the route over the Nobertshöhe, which has additional 100 meters of altitude, but there is significantly less traffic than on the Reschenpass road. There are 11 serpentines to Nobertshöhe. It's not as fast as in the video, but thanks to the moderate incline, little traffic, good weather and beautiful scenery, it was really fun. After this short descent, the headwind came. Another look back over Lake Reschen before the long descent begins. First we pass Heidersee and then continue on this well-maintained cycle path which takes us to Prat today. From Prat to Bozen, it's always downhill and almost exclusively through apple orchards. Everything is ready for the harvest, but we wonder who will harvest it all. In Bozen, we take a day's break and look at the city. We visit as well Ötzi and then enjoy the rest of the day. After a good breakfast, we leave Bozen.
Guten Morgen!
We cycle along the edge on this wonderful cycle path. At lunch, we randomly meet the cyclists which we know from the campsite in Pfunds. In Trento, we leave the Edge Valley to the east and immediately it goes up the mountains so steeply that in some places we even have to push our bikes. We reach Lago di Caglionazzo in the late afternoon and the tent is set up just before it starts to rain. First, the path went along the valley for a while, but then the Via Claudia Augusta took us into the mountains. Here it was so steep that the two of us had to push each bike up together. At least this view rewarded us for our efforts. In Castello Tesino, we spent the night in a small hotel. The next day we started while it was raining. Plus, things are going uphill at first. This is not what we wanted. But then the downhill drive started. Instead of the tunnel, we take the old road and come to this waterfall. Down in the valley, the weather is improving very quickly. We reach Feltre around lunchtime and take a look at this medieval town. Today we will leave the mountains and drive to the northern Italian plain. But before that, we enjoy the ride through this valley along the river Piave. At Pederoba, we leave the mountains and follow this canal to Volpago del Montello. A perfect day of cycling that ends in the afternoon at our night's accommodation, this beautiful villa. There is nothing special to report about the last stage of our crossing of the Alps, except that we arrived safe and sound, are a little bit proud, and are looking forward to visiting Venice tomorrow. After 14 days of cycling across the Alps, we have now arrived in Venice and have spent a night at the campsite, and now we are taking the ferry to Venice. We couldn't get train tickets for the return journey to Stuttgart. Doesn't matter. Then we'll just take the Flixbus. It will already leave today in the evening, and from Freiburg on, we have a whole bus for ourselves all the way back home.